It's time for a random review.
All right, welcome to the original Geek Random Review. We set the topic, the dice set the direction. We know what we're talking about, we just don't know how. Hi, I'm Steve Scarfo.
And I'm Jeff Shaw, and we're talking Spider-Noir tonight. Random review, Prime series, 8 episodes, I think,
8
in this season? Yeah. Dropped all at once. You can go binge like we did, and we recommend it.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I love it when they drop them all at once. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I was I was finished after episode 1. Like, I'm done. I'm just watching the whole thing.
You're engaged. Nice.
Well, and I think I again, if you haven't ever watched one of these, shame on you. Thanks for joining us, but keep coming back for these random reviews. We don't know what we're going to talk about quite literally. We have AI generate the list, and so I don't know if this will come up. But Jeff and I are huge fans of Nick Cage, so this is like a double bonus for us because we get Spider-Man style quality content, and we get Nick Cage.
Yeah, and we're like Gen X. We're leaning into, with Nick Cage, some of his early stuff that you may not have checked out, but we both, when we were talking about this show and his performance, it reminded us of Vampire's Kiss.
Yes.
Which
Such a good
we
movie.
love. Late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but love that.
And there's definitely parts of his performance in here that are absolutely Vampire's Kiss. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's do this. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
I always forget which one of us is supposed to go first. You usually remember.
You're rolling for me.
I'm rolling for you. All right. Here we go. On a 20-sided D&D dice, a 15. The Assistant Alliance. This is a successful diplomacy. Ben's relationship with Janet. The Emotional Anchor. Karen Rodriguez as Janet gives the show its necessary humor. Her sharp diplomacy checks constantly pull Ben back to reality when his spidey sense migraines start driving him into paranoid fits.
Yeah, so I love noir. I love that genre, the detective and the secretary or administrative assistant, whatever we want to say,
whatever the PC term is.
That whole trope, all of it, I'm in for it. And this was executed brilliantly. Karen Rodriguez, she did a fantastic job as Janet, and that character of Janet is great. She is, and they've already shown her loyalty because she's not been paid in a long time. When she finally gets some money in this series, and then the reveal that he's Spider-Man or the Spider for the whole time.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's disguised it, and sorry, spoiler. You just gotta,
you always say it too late.
You gotta put a huge spoiler. We'll
put it in the description.
Such a great reveal. That I love that whole sequence. So I hope this doesn't come up in another random review for you. But when she's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. How do
she's
you
like,
know?
Oh, by the way, and I won't talk too deeply about it, but like I feel like that like the way she's like kept that under wraps and been super supportive and such an ally and like, yeah, I know, like you've let me know this a few times. So yeah, I feel, great call out for that being a diplomacy check, a 15, and yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I love the dynamic. You know, you can always tell when actors have real kind of on-screen chemistry, and you can tell that they were playful together in the scenes because she's just so relaxed is the word I want to use. I think you kind of have to be if you're going to be a good actor anyway. But I think the dynamic between them was great. Everything you said, if you hadn't mentioned it, I was going to mention the reveal because it was one of my favorite parts too. Like the whole, and I love that they did a little montage of every time he told her, and it was like more and more
he's
ridiculous.
Gonna keep going with it.
And it was more and more ridiculous. It was just funny. Anyway.
But each time he's drunk, so he doesn't remember that he is revealed he's the spider.
Just the fact that he's a drunk is a whole other take. And that I don't know what else is coming. I'm trying not to look at my second screen here. So I don't look at it, but.
Nice. All right. Shall I roll for you?
Roll it up.
Okay. A 3. This is Failed Fortitude, the Midnight Slump, the pacing of the mid-season investigation. Stuck in the mud. Episode 4 and 5 get deeply bogged down in a complex web of corporate zoning laws, shipping manifests. Viewers complain the gritty momentum of the premiere evaporated into a standard slow-moving procedural. Your thoughts?
I kind of agree with this one. As much as I loved all 8 episodes, those 2 in the middle were very normal. So for a show where we're talking about Nick Cage, who is an outrageous actor and has the ability to have these amazing performances, which you see actually in maybe parts of 5 and then 6, 7, and 8 for sure. It was sort of him kind of avoiding being the spider for a little while. And then the whole idea that they were building up the bad guys, but in a standard cop drama kind of way, right? It really did come down to, what's the mayor doing? And what's the mob boss Silvermane doing? And these 2 guys are going at it. And they were developing the villain storylines. And maybe since we didn't get it, we could talk a little bit about that after this too. But, cause I liked the villain twists too, but it seemed like it was, too normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was still good and it's still Cage and it's still the spider, but, yeah. If I were going to rank them in order, those 2 would probably be at the bottom.
Yeah. It's funny when those, and just so you know, like, we love this series, absolutely go and watch it. But having said that, I wondered, like, had this been released one, instead of just all at once, like they do for often, is if they get release this once a week. I maybe we'd still call it a slump, but I don't know. But like, you're watching all of it in a row, and so you're comparing it all right next to each other. And so I feel like maybe we can be a little more harsh with it because we're like, okay, I know the next episode, I can just skip and watch it. I can just fast forward this thing and watch it. As opposed to, oh man, this is what I get this week. And I'm going to treasure what I get this week. And so I do wonder if that, we would have thought of it differently, but I agree with you. And the movies, but I feel like, like the Maltese Falcon and those noir films that this is based on, and even Chinatown, because I know we're obviously not going to talk about the black and white versus color, but Chinatown with Jack Nicholson is 2 hours long, so one of the longer noirs are right around there, and it has that's the mid part of any noir film is a little bit of a slog. It doesn't have. Now all the characters who are involved. Now the mystery, but you need to kind of work through the investigation now. And in an 8 episodes, we're now in that slog of the investigation, and so I felt like it's the right point. Just because of the length of a season, it's harder to kind of get away with, I guess.
Yeah. It's hard to remember too, the movie and the style that it's emulating as a noir is by its very nature an older style storytelling, doesn't fit with Marvel movie action-packed back to back. I think we talked about it on a different episode. Like in the original Iron Man, they actually cut a scene of Tony when he first flies over to the Middle East again to take out all the bad guys because they thought it added too much time. Like, and it was not even a bad scene or a slow scene, but like they cut because they just want to pow, pow, pow. So when you're used to that, when we get to this slog, which is just the slower of these episodes, but and I know we don't have them on our list, but I do want to call out one of my favorite parts of this show is the bad guys, because they're all bad guys that we know, but they were portrayed in such a different way that because there was the Rhino, there was Sandman, and there was Electro.
No, it was, so Tombstone is
sorry.
a real character. Yeah, I thought he was going to be the Rhino, and when I saw his name was Tombstone, I'm like, oh, it's Tombstone.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say
like I didn't really.
When they first show him change, it looks like they're
exactly
scales.
more reptilian or scales or rhino hide.
Yeah.
And not Tombstone. So Tombstone in the comic book is gray skinned. So it's that stony look, and this guy didn't look like he was made of stone.
Yeah, and I don't mean that they look the same, and that's one of the things I liked because Electro, in the Lakes movies was Jamie Foxx.
Calling him Megawatt. I'm wondering if that's a whole separate character. Or is it supposed to be Electro?
I think it's supposed to be Electro.
It's the 1930s. We're gonna go Megawatt.
Yeah, and they don't call him Sandman. They never call him Sandman. He's the same name. The character names are all the same. So the human side of them, they're real character names.
Yeah.
Those were all, because I looked them up, those were all the same names as the original Spider-Man nemesis. But I think it was just cool that it was lift and shift, and it wasn't just the Nick Cage being the Spider and the origin story being completely different. I loved that. I will tell you, my favorite line in the entire show is, with no power comes no responsibility. I absolutely fell over laughing when I heard it because it is the best possible twist to the actual line. There's nothing bad about the show, even though the 2 episodes we talked about, right? You'll still enjoy them, even though they are the slowest of the episodes. But I say that with the big asterisk because they're still really good. Anything else did you want to bring up? I know I brought up a couple extra things.
No, I love that. With no power comes no responsibility. Yes, that was really good.
It was the best.
Yeah, so if you love Nicolas Cage, go see it. If you haven't watched Vampire's Kiss, I don't know if that's not what this is about, but see that as well.
Yeah.
And then you will appreciate that especially when we had the reveal that Janet knew he was a spider all along in that little montage.
Yeah.
It's like Vampire's Kiss all over again. It's awesome.
Oh, and the physical humor of how he moves.
Yes. Oh, wait, I did want to say one thing. The director said, and whether he was joking or not, I don't know, but he said that he wanted Nick Cage to play this role of a character who's trying to learn how to be human, because Nick Cage himself has to study how to be human. And so,
oh my God, I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Yes, I love that. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm glad you triggered that memory for me. So, so that's a part of this. And I agree. I could not imagine anyone pulling this off other than Nick Cage. Someone else could do a good job, but no one could do what he did.
All right. So. Well, listen, Spider-Noir, it's on Prime. Check it out. Absolutely like, follow, share all of our stuff. Come back for more of these. We're starting to put out some more smaller segments, so hopefully you'll hang out with us for some of those. But go see Spider-Noir. Not go see. Turn it on and watch it. Prime Video. You don't have to go anywhere. You can watch it on your phone. I don't.
Do
Watch
it.
it on a real screen.